Hi, my name is Musto, and in this video today I want to share my experience in teaching English and what you should know if you plan to move to Cambodia and perhaps teach English in 2022 or any other time. Well, first of all, you have to understand what is your purpose to Cambodia. Do you want to go for a holiday? You can get a 1 month tourist visa, you can extend the tourist visa for another month, or you can get a business visa which can be extended for 6 to 12 months. So, as you know, Cambodia is a great country to visit and you can stay for the long term if you plan to go to Cambodia. And recently, actually, visas on arrival have been reintroduced. However, you have to remember that information can always change, so we don't know what's going to happen. But I want to share to you guys my 7 years of experience in teaching English in Cambodia. So, first of all, don't expect to come to Cambodia and teach English right away. There is competition because there are many schools, but to be hired by a Cambodian school, there are a few things that a Cambodian employer will consider. First of all, as sad as it is, yes, your nationality, your passport will affect their decision making. If you're Western, you will have an easier task in getting a job in a Cambodian school because Cambodian people like Western people and they believe that Western people can actually contribute and give good Western education to their children. You have to understand that Cambodia used to suffer from the civil war and the genocide that happened during the 1970s and 1980s. So the mindset of Cambodian people is that their children need to get Western education. And of course, if you're from any other nationality, you can also get a job in a Cambodian school, but your accent, your qualifications, and your experience will matter because you have to understand that in Cambodia, what the parents think the most is getting a good teacher that has good moral values and can be a good role model. And the schools, on the other hand, they want someone that can give them a good marketing to attract more students to their school. And myself, I have been a teacher for 7 years. I have been a school principal, so I have experience in knowing the mindset of Cambodian people, and also I understand the Cambodian culture, how people behave and think in Cambodia. So if you want to come to Cambodia and you think you can teach English part-time or you have no experience at all and you can get easy money from teaching, you're completely wrong because teaching is a very difficult job. It's a profession. Myself, at the beginning, I didn't like teaching. I didn't have plans to be a teacher, but with time I got used to it. I ended up getting this profession. And yes, if you're a teacher, you have to expect in getting anything from $800 to $1,500 per month as a salary in a school. But as I said before, salaries depend on various factors. The first factor, your nationality, your passport. So if you're American, if you're from New Zealand or any native speaking country, you will have the highest salary. This is just what I have witnessed and experienced in Cambodia. And the second requirement that I think it's very important for you if you want to come to Cambodia and teach English is having a TESOL or TEFL or a CELTA. This is very important because Cambodian schools have really improved their standard, and if you don't have a TESOL, if you don't have a TEFL or any qualification, you might not be accepted in Cambodia. So it's very important that you're qualified and you have this certificate to teach English in Cambodia. And what should you expect if you want to work in Cambodia? So usually in Cambodia you start teaching from 8 to 11 a.m. and then 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So some schools, they require you to come at 7 a.m. and you have to greet the parents. So you greet the parents like this, and after that you bring the students upstairs, or sometimes you just stay in the class and you let the my teachers to assist you. And sometimes you may also be required to say goodbye to the students and hand them over to the parent. This is another requirement, but it depends on which schools. We have many different schools that they have different necessities and different routines. This is just from my own experience. And how should you behave, or how should you act if you're a teacher towards Cambodian employers? So first of all, you have to be punctual. It's very important that you are punctual. And the second, you should be clean. So if you're a man, you have to be shaved, or you have to be groomed, you have to wear clean clothes, you have to look professional, because remember, you are hired as a marketing tool to attract more students. Remember also that Cambodian parents, they value foreigners, and they think that foreigners can give a better education, a better future, and also they can give that Western education that is so valued in Cambodia. And that is very important. So be well behaved, be professional. If you are not good looking, I'm sorry to say, you might have a very hard time in getting a job in Cambodia. And another requirement, you need to get a working permit. You can get a working permit as a self-employed, or your school, your company will make you a working permit that is valid for 1 year. It costs around $200, and then you can pay every year around $100 to $150 per year. And that is also very important. And some schools, or most schools, they will deduct every month the income tax, which is between 5 to 10% from your salary. And yes, it's very important to be always cool with Cambodian employers. Be nice, be respectful, don't get angry. And if you want to leave a certain school, or you want to change work, you have to inform most schools 1 month in advance. This is something that I have witnessed myself and experienced, because I have taught in many different schools in Cambodia, from kindergarten to primary and to even high school. So yes, I hope this was helpful. And yes, in 2022, you have to make sure that you are fully vaccinated. No school in Cambodia will let foreigners that are unvaccinated to teach. So it's very important that you're fully vaccinated. In fact, more than 90% of Cambodia's population has been fully vaccinated, including children. So bear that in mind, and hopefully you do check online for positions, or check on Facebook Meta. There are advertisements of job offers being available for foreigners. You can also look around when you reach Phnom Penh. And of course, Phnom Penh, we have the highest salaries in Cambodia, followed by Sihanoukville and Siem Reap. And lastly, also having the experience in teaching English in Russia, I have noticed that Cambodian children do listen, they do respect the foreign teacher. And the thing that I respect about Cambodian children is that they try to speak English. No matter what, Cambodian children will always try to speak out English. And in fact, since they're young, they will start learning the alphabet and the numbers. So this is a good point about Cambodian children. Cambodian children, they learn English well. They're well behaved, most of them. Of course, we have exceptions, and they do speak English. They try their best. So this is one good point about Cambodian children. So just be respectful, be kind, be nice, be a role model, and listen to the rules, follow, learn the culture. And yes, I think you can teach English in Cambodia. But remember, being a teacher is one of the hardest professions in the world because of the amount of sacrifice that you have to give. But once you understand how many people and how many children are getting that knowledge, that experience, that love from you, you will understand what of a great profession it is to be a teacher, because we teachers, we give the future for these children. So yes, this is all I have for you today. Comment below if you want me to make additional videos about Cambodia. Like the video, share it to your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification button, and I'll see you next time.